So we do our weekly trivia. This one's not going to be as hard as what you think it is, but Johnny, you ready?
Bring it.
Okay. What New York Ranger tried to kiss current NBC analyst Keith Jones during the 1994 playoffs between the Rangers and the Capitals?
I heard the man speaks a language called Ticanese. I don't know what type of derivative. I heard it the Finnish, but I think his first name is Essa, last name Tikkanen.
Yes, and you'd be correct.
Yeah.
Now, again, I'm not sure. There's been many kisses over the time in the playoffs, although Tikkanen was starting to take it to that level, and then Brad Marchand had to just go over the top.
Yeah, the lick.
Yeah,
that was weird.
And if I am correct, that was Ryan Callahan.
Yes, you are.
Okay. All right, good. I like being correct. I like being right. It's the best drug in the world. Unfortunately, it's never happened in any relationship I've ever been in. What former Detroit Red Wings scored the series clinching goal in 2009 between the Rangers and the Capitals?
Sergei Fedorov.
Sergei Fedorov.
And I will never forget that one because the worst part about it is that the man who was defending him on that goal that basically tried to step up but slightly screened Henrik Lundqvist. I don't know if it was much of a screen. It was pretty far out wrist shot. Was Wade Redden, who ended up being one of the worst contracts in Rangers history, and that was in his first season. So that was just a sign of things to come with Wade Redden, and boy, that was bad.
Oh boy, I still just I was actually dead afraid for a second because I thought you were going to say it was Dan Girardi again, and I'm like, not another Dan Girardi one. All right,
no. Everyone knows that it's Wade Redden. Oh,
okay. I forgot about it for a minute because I remember when I saw that game, it was my first game seeing the Mets at Citi Field, so it was nice to watch the Mets for a few innings, and then we were down at the Verizon booth watching the game, all of us, and unfortunately, that's where being a Ranger fan and a Met fan did not pay off for me because I couldn't exactly watch the Mets game. I forgot who the Mets were playing. I want to say it was the Marlins, but so many Islander fans were around me, including my friend Matt, who I was at the game with. So, and what Washington Capital took a high-sticking double minor that led to Brad Richards' game-tying goal in Game 5 of 2012?
Hot skates of Lynbrook, New York's finest, Joel Ward. And if you don't know that reference, Joel Ward has actually played at Hot Skates in Lynbrook before Hot Skates closed down.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Yeah, so I'll never forget. And all of us were all just, thank you, Joel Ward. I remember seeing that. I think I even put up a Facebook post that said, thank you, Joel Ward, when that happened, because that was just the worst penalty he could have taken. And that absolutely turned that series in the Rangers' favor.
I got to remember which I did a list of best moments of the decade, and I think this moment was number 5 of and considering how many great moments the Rangers had, might have been number 6.
Well, that was one of the 2 great moments in that series with Gabourik's triple overtime winner, assisted by Brad Richards.
Yeah, and then Brad Richards having a magnificent Game 7 as well.
Yeah.
But as far as Joe Ward goes in that moment, he had all the stuff that was said about him online after the game-winning goal against the Bruins by Boston fans.
In Game 7, yeah.
In Game 7. Then he had all the stuff said about him by his own fans with the Washington Capitals, and it's where you just go, come on, people, we're a better society than this. And
I don't even want to imagine what was said.
No, it's exactly what was said. But I will say this: Joel Ward was one hell of a player, and he could be on my team any day That's what, you know what? Regardless of race or anything, the Rangers need a Joel Ward. They need one right now.
Well, that's what I've been saying for this season. It's just they lack bottom six depth, and a guy like Joel Ward, that type of player, would absolutely help this team out right now.
All right, this one's slightly more complicated. Between the Rangers and the Flyers in the Eric Lindros trade, who had the most points from the Lindros trade to the Rangers for the team that acquired them? If you need, I'll say that the top three players.
Wait, hold on one second. So you're talking about the trade that happened in 2001 where Lindros actually got traded to the Rangers, right?
Yes.
Okay. Because for a second, I thought you might have been referencing the possible trade that was agreed upon in 92 that ended up not going through because Uncle Larry, a.k.a. Larry Bertuzzi, decided that he didn't want that happening. So the Lindros trade so which player had the most points for the Rangers?
Either the Rangers or the Flyers.
Ooh.
Player that went the other way.
All right. So before we get into this, I'm just going to throw back a little history because I was talking about this on social media. The same package that ended up going to the Rangers this 2001 offseason, by the way, was a hell of a lot of confusion, madness, and fun, if you will.
Yes.
To say the least.
Yes.
Brett Hull was almost a New York Ranger, and that was on the premise that Jaromir Jagr was going to be traded to the New York Rangers. And the Jaromir Jagr deal that was pretty much almost agreed upon to send Jaromir Jagr to the Rangers in the 2001 offseason was the same deal that ended up going to Philadelphia for Eric Lindros, which was Jan Hlavich, Kim Janssen, and Pavel Brendel. Craig Patrick, who was unceremoniously fired by the Rangers years beforehand, turned around and basically pulled out on the deal, did not give the Rangers any advance, and then turned around, traded him in a panic move, like last second, to Washington for Chris Beach, Ross Lupashuk, Michael Civic, and František Kuchera. So he got a bunch of busts and a journeyman 30-year-old defenseman who really was in the last legs of his career for Jaromir Jagr. But
and I believe that journeyman was the best player in that deal.
He was.
Chris Beach didn't do anything in the NHL.
Didn't do anything. Nothing.
I mean,
he was a top prospect from a bad draft year. Ross Lupashuk ended up playing maybe a handful of games in the NHL. And Michael Civic was a okay fourth line forward in the early mid 2000s for the Penguins. It wasn't anything special. So
and by the way, while you're at it, if there was any way to do less in the NHL, his name was Pavel Brendel. Still, goals scored for the New York Rangers with John and me. All right, so back to the actual question. Who had the most points from the Eric Lindros trade to the Rangers for the team that acquired them? Eric Lindros, Kim Janssen, Jan Hlavich.
Now, we're not talking post-career in general. We're just talking for the respect.
The team that acquired them, yes.
Ooh, I'm going to say it's probably Kim Janssen.
You know, it is still Eric Lindros, but it's a lot closer than you think. Lindros had 73 points his first season as a New York Ranger.
36 goals, or 37 goals, I believe.
He had 158 points as a New York Ranger. Kim Janssen had 147 points as a Philadelphia Flyer.
You know what? I said Janssen because of the fact that Lindros missed so much time in 2004. He missed a bunch of time that year. He only played 30-something games. And I believe he had 20 or maybe 30 points in that year.
He had some rough years with the Rangers.
That 2003 year was not a good year for him. He played a full season, but he played like someone scared to lose his career.
Yeah.
He did not play good that year.
Moving on, I got two more for you. I think you're probably going to get both of these with ease. Also, it's to educate you on this. By the way, if you ever have any trivia questions you'd like us to ask, put them in the comments below. This player scored 2 goals in the 2012 Winter Classic at Citizens Bank Ballpark and saluted the Philadelphia Flyers.
Last I checked, he works as an analyst for NHL Network. And he was also a New York Islanders draft pick, funny enough. Michael Rupp.
That is correct. Also, if I'm correct,
2 goals in 2003 Stanley Cup Final Game 7.
Yeah. How about that? 2 goals by a player in back-to-back years that was in a Game 7 because it was him and then Ruslan Fedotenko. But yeah, Mike Rupp. And Mike Rupp does a great job on the NHL Network, and he was fantastic. I thought in his brief time as a New York Ranger.
I liked him as a Ranger. I did.
Who is the only player to play for the New York Rangers, the New Jersey Devils, the New York Islanders, the Philadelphia Flyers, and the Pittsburgh Penguins?
Wow. Okay. Rangers, Islanders, Devils,
Flyers,
and
Penguins.
Okay, so the 3 metro area teams and the 2 PA teams. Wow. So it's got to be somebody within the last 20 years, I would say.
I'll even go further. I'll say 10 years.
Last 10 years.
10 years when he finished his career. And if it'll help, he even had a goal in a Game 7. A game-winning goal in a Game 7.
I know it's not Yager because Yager never played for the Islanders.
That is correct.
He did get the other 4, though, crazy enough. Yeah,
that's nuts. How he got the other 4.
How he got the other 4 is just crazy. Retired in the last 10 years. And he had a game-winning goal in a Game 7. Wow, I'm gonna kick myself for not getting this. I'm really, you know what? You're gonna say it, and I'm gonna, like I said, I'm gonna kick myself.
Are you ready to groan?
Yeah.
Do you remember who had the first goal in the 5-0 shutout versus the Washington Capitals for the Rangers?
Aaron Asham. Oh my God. Oh. See,
Kreider drop pass. Aaron Asham launched it.
What a shot that was, though. Holy, he absolutely blew that one by Holtby.
And that shot broke the Capitals.
Yeah.
That shot broke the Capitals. Lundqvist was keeping them at bay, and then after that, boom, it was just done.
Hey, you still here? Well, you know what you should do? You should watch some of these other videos on our channel, like this one, comment, and share it with other people.